Thanks to the support as a channel member, Reese Major. I can now officially declare that I'm glad we didn't get promoted last year because this team is a really good team. And we might just be good enough to go up as champions this time round. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 18 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two matches for you in the Championship. We're away against Birmingham and at home against Watford. Since you were last with me, in addition to some transfers, which I'll show you in a second, we've been on a ridiculous run of form. We did lose against West Brom. West Brom are a good side, but we've won every other game apart from that. And actually, off the back of the West Brom game, we switched the attack up and put Patton out onto the right-hand side with Jones as our main striker. Since that change, they've been electrified. You can see Patton scoring for fun. Jones in his last game scored all 4 goals in a 4-0 win over Reading, which means the league table looks like this. 7 games gone. We're 3 points behind Villa and West Brom, who are both on 7 from 7 at the moment. I said in the intro, we might be good enough to go up as champions. A lot's going to depend on how good Villa and West Brom actually are. We've got recent experience with both of them and been beaten by both of them. So maybe we'll have to win the playoffs, but Middlesbrough are quite a good side as well. And Britta Sombolonga is having a lovely time scoring lots of goals for them. But more importantly, we've got joint 4th place in the top scorers list with both Jones and Patton on 6 goals apiece, which I'd rather have a partnership with 12 than one man on 9. So as far as I'm concerned, we've got the best attack in the league. And this fella called Jack Grealish, though, playing in the Championship, seems to think he's a better footballer than Ricky J. Jones, not having it. We have done quite a few more transfers, actually. There's been quite a lot going on. I did mention there'd be more to come. The most significant one, I guess, is the sale of Luke McCormick. He was our captain. He was the hero of the playoffs down in League One. But there's no room for sentiment. He wasn't in the team this year. And Sheffield Wednesday offered us initially £2.5 million for him. And we managed to push them up to 3.2 million. And we can't be turning down £3.2 million for a player who's probably going to be a reserve for us this year. We signed on a free transfer a year and a half ago. It's exactly what the board have asked us to do. Sign young players cheap, sell expensive. And I think we probably hit our peak with Luke McCormick. So we cashed in. He's gone for 3.2 million. We weren't able to sell either Burns or Gooch. Burns has gone out on loan to Falkirk. Lyndon Gooch has gone on loan to Hull. We have managed to get them to pay a tiny loan fee. It's not quite the £3.8 million transfer fee we had agreed with Portsmouth that he turned down. This is what's so confusing. He turned down a permanent move to Portsmouth, who were in the Championship, to go on loan to Hull in League One. We could have made £3.8 million there, but Lyndon Gooch ruined it for everybody. But with those two leaving, we did have to bring in some more players, and bring in some more players we did. Michael Daniels, just another youngster that we don't need to worry about just yet. But Jack Stretton we missed out on Armstrong Okoflex and decided we just needed another striker or another attacker, someone who could play up front and on either wing, who was going to be relatively cheap and is just there as an option, really to play the Atete role this year after we sold him on. And Jack Stretton was available from Derby, relatively cheap. I doubt he'll play much, especially now we've brought in some more players on loan as well. But he's an extra body in the squad, and we were looking, considering we had like 35 players in the first team squad at one point over the summer, we'd got down to like 22 players, and I just wanted to pad it out a little bit. And then I remembered loans existed, and we probably didn't need Stretton after all. But we have signed on loan one of the hot young prospects of English football, who just so happens to be a name in the game Sports Interactive staff member, I think. Seb Wassel. I don't know. How do I say your name, Seb? I've never actually tried to say it out loud, but I recognise the name. And lo and behold, yes, this is the name of a Sports Interactive employee. So clearly he's given himself far too good a rating, because 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He is as good as Jack Taylor already, and he's only 18. He's in on a season-long loan from Norwich. We've also signed Tristan Kasani, who's another 18-year-old English midfielder. This one a bit more attacking. Just provides us a little bit of cover in more attacking roles. I don't know how much he'll play. I found him before I where I found Wassell and Edwards, but just decided to go for him anyway because numbers, we like numbers. Ronnie Edwards, we've brought back to Peterborough, and we did try and sign him permanently, but Villa weren't interested, and they wanted too much money for him. He's a young player who's at Posh in real life at the moment, signed from Barnet, played a little bit of football before being sold to Aston Villa for £1.1 million, has never really played for them, but he's a natural deep-lying playmaker in the defensive midfield role, so we only had one of them, so he's a second one of them with bags of potential, and if he ends up playing and doing any good and helping us get promoted, we can make his deal permanent. And then lastly, a non-league to legend veteran, because we were a little bit low at wing-back cover on the right-hand side, Valentino Livramento, who was part of our Barnsley team last year. He can play full-back on either side. Supposedly he can play centre-back as well, but he did score arguably the best goal of non-league to legend last year, though, so it's good to have him back involved. He's on loan for the season from Chelsea, having previously spent time on loan at Blackpool and Rotherham. So with those players added into the squad, we've got the balance boosted up again. There's still £4 million to spend in January, and potentially more if we still manage to sell Gooch. And the squad depth is looking lovely. I'm confident. I think we're going to do very well this year. We've started brightly, and hopefully that bright start continues in this game away against Birmingham, who will probably be looking at the league table rather longingly, seeing that Villa and West Brom are the two teams first and second at the moment, and we'll be quite keen to go up and join them. We want to go and spoil their fun. So we're going with Jaskalainen in goal, a back four of Devine, Suleiman, Sykes and Lopez. Anderson picked up an injury and Suleiman came in and was awesome, so we've actually left him there for now. Anderson obviously will still play plenty of games this season, but it's nice to have some proper competition at the back. Wintle at the base of the midfield with Zakowski and Wassell. I'm going to need you to get in touch and tell me how we say your surname. And then Palmer on the left, Patton on the right, and Jones up front, which is our new look front three that we've been doing for the last 4 or 5 games. Does mean no room for Burak. He'll find a way back in. But at the moment, this is working beautifully. And if Steve Wilson can find his form as a striker, Jones could drop back out to the left-hand side and we could play the front three that I was dreaming of all summer. But Wilson not really showing any signs of being ready to come in and do that just yet, despite being paid more money than either of the other two strikers. In fact, I think with Patton's new contract, he now does earn more than Wilson. And we've conceded a goal early on. That's not how it... Tyler Blackett, I feel like he's been on loan at Posh in real life at some point, but I might be confusing it with me having him on loan in a Football Manager save. Real life and imaginary football does tend to mix together in my brain. Has Tyler Blackett ever been at Posh? He hasn't. So in that case, I must have loaned him at some point in non-league to legend in the past, or maybe even signed him permanently. It's still sad to see him score against us, though. Palmer on the left-hand side as he tries to get us an immediate reply, but the Birmingham defender wins the ball back immediately, and they've got a little bit of an attack going on again here, and we need to be careful that we don't go 2-0 down early on. Wintle coming across and doing the first half of his job. His other half is the creativity. That's a lovely ball over the top for Jones, and what a finish from Ricky J. Jones, who is loving life playing as a striker. It's his first ever run playing as a centre forward for a consistent number of games in his career. When he was at us at Posh before he went to Everton, he was only ever an impact player off of the bench. You could see that from the ratio of games that he started to games that he actually played in total. So he was never starting regularly. I imagine Johnson Clark-Harris was playing ahead of him at that point. He never got a run of games at either Everton or Brighton. And obviously last season, he only ever really played out wide for us. He's getting a run up front and he is loving it. That's 5 goals in his last game and a bit now. And you can see he is absolutely bubbling with confidence as shown by that finish. And we are right back in this with only 7 minutes on the clock. And Sykes plays it forward to Patton. Sykes, by the way, is the new club captain. Now McCormick has left the club. Sykes is club captain. Jack Taylor is now vice captain. And it's good. I mean, Ross Sykes, I mentioned before, he had the option to leave us in the summer. We decided to keep him. We rewarded him with the captaincy. And there's Simon Patton cutting in off the right, showing just how deadly he can be from that position. I warned you, they looked good this way round. Patton is like a new man playing out on the right-hand side. He gets so much space running from deep. similar to what Jones was doing from the left when he arrived last year. I think we just have to monitor who's in what kind of form and, play them in the appropriate roles at the appropriate times. I don't think we'll forever play Patton out wide and Jones up front, because there were times last year where Jones was unplayable from the left. And although he's scoring a lot of goals up front now, at no point would I say he's looked unplayable yet. And he really was from the left at times last year. And that's the stage Patton's kind of reaching from the right. It's nice to have the flexibility to be able to move them around. If something's not working, we can swap it and change it and try something else, which is awesome. Here's Patton again from the right-hand side, looking to go past his man. He does. He squares it. And Wassel. I mean, I could have sent him a message. I need to know how you say that name. There's going to be someone who works at Sports Interactive watching this video. Please let me know how you say that man's name. Even if you just give me it as a troll version, just so I forever say it wrong. I'll commit to it. But the first employee of SI who tells me how to say his name, that's how I'm going to say it. And he's just going to have to live with it if it's wrong. Zakowski. Playing it to Palmer. Palmer back to Zakowski again. And Jones is in behind, using his pace, using his power, using his finishing to make it 3-1 on 21 minutes. The mistake Birmingham have made here is angering us with that early goal and causing us to go out there and ruin them. And that's what we're going to do now. Zakowski very much involved. Palmer dropping deep. And Palmer, as part of this front three, has really just got an instruction to get the ball to these two and let them do what they do, because they're both too good for this division. And they're showing it again here. What's going on in the Villa and West Brom games? Because they look like they're both dropping points. Presumably they're still drawing in their games. Jones is in again here. Oh, he's hit the outside of the post. He could have had a hat trick for the second game in a row inside the first half an hour of the game. He is in the form of his career. And Patton's doing just as well from the right. And Patton's outscoring him from the right-hand side. It's madness. Zakowski now. And we've just had players glitching around on the pitch multiple times. I don't know what's going on there. I've never seen that happen before in all my years playing Football Manager. So hopefully that's not a warning sign of something afoot. I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Oh, imagine if the save broke now. I'd be heartbroken. Right, ball is cleared. Jones can't make it to that one, and it's another corner for Birmingham. If they grab another goal just before half-time here, I'm actually a little disappointed with this first half, but Patton's doing brilliantly on this counter-attack. Look at the state of this. I mean, he's hit the crossbar. It's like watching Messi play, watching Patton play off that right wing, and he deserved a second goal there. It was an audacious effort. And I love the fact that they're both absolutely overflowing with confidence and trying stuff like that. It's beautiful. I never want Jones and Patton playing together to end. I want to just carry on watching those two be beautiful together for the rest of my days, and I will die happy. That took a turn, Kev. Goodness me. Right, 20 minutes left. Seb. Let's bring Kasani on for his debut. And then how are we doing fitness-wise? We could probably take off Casey Palmer. I'm trying to force Steve Wilson at the moment. We're going to put Jones out onto the left, put Wilson up front. This is the front three that if they can click, if Wilson's as good as he looks like he could be, and if these three click, this could be a 100-goal front three this season. I'm convinced of it. But we need it to click, and click quickly, because otherwise we've got Palmer, we've got Barak. There's no reason to force Wilson long term if he doesn't start to work. But certainly short term, I'm going to continue just trying to force him for now, just to see if I'm a genius or not. Lopez coming down the right-hand side. I'm looking to get a cross in, cuts it back to Kasani. This is our first real look at him. Little cheeky back heel back to Lopez. Cross comes in for Jones. It ends up cleared as far as Wintle. To Devine now. Devine and Wintle again. Wintle's been a very important part of this setup. He's going to be an unsung hero this year, I think, because he's never going to be spectacular. Goodness me, is he an important player. And talking of important players, there's your second hat-trick in a week for Ricky J. Jones. 7 goals in 2 games now. That's £4 million well spent. A 9th goal of the season. He's doing it from whatever position we ask him to play now. It's beautiful. Lopez, was it Lopez with the cross? Yeah, Lopez with the cross. Jones with the towering header actually came over the top of Wilson there, who, I mean, he's going to have to be a little bit more forceful if he wants to make an impression in a team with these two boys. And look at that interception from Kasani, and we're away again, looking for a fifth. Kasani just charging into the area, and unfortunately, rather than squaring it for Wilson, who's unmarked in the middle, he decides to go it alone, and it is a pretty tame effort. We're going to take off Patton now and bring on Burak for the last couple of minutes just to play on that right-hand side. Patton has done a lot of running today, and at 4-1 up, there's no point asking him to continue to run. Occo Flex, I thought he'd scored for Forest there, but he was actually picking up a yellow card. He'll be the one that got away if he ends up having a good season, but let's face it, he's not going to be playing in this team, is he? I guess he could have been the one in the middle, but I think we're probably going to do all right without him. Wilson playing it back to Wintle. There's the ball over top to Kasani again, who's looked very dangerous since coming on and forces the corner. Birmingham were hovering outside the playoffs when this game started, and we've battered them. We've played very, very well today, and it's been the Ricky J. Jones and Simon Patton show, and it's a lovely show. It's a lovely, lovely show. Right, I think that's probably that for this game. Are we getting this throw in as a highlight? It seems like a waste of time in the second to score. Come on, referee, blow your whistle. Put poor old Birmingham out of their misery. Header goes over, and that must be that now. I'm not really sure. I mean, what's happened here? Is that an offside? Was there a foul out there? Why is this highlight still going on? Something must be happening. No, apparently not. What a strange highlight. Good work, gentlemen. Do that again in the next game, because I do like it when a plan comes together. And this front two, let's go do it to Watford. Well, it seems that all Ross Sykes wanted was to be made captain, and then he was going to go off sick. He's got himself a pulled abdominal muscle and probably laughing so hard that he's now the captain and can have time off. He's out for the next 3 weeks. So Anderson comes back into the side to partner Suleiman at the back. And we also bring Jack Taylor into the midfield to play alongside Wassell. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I just Googled it, and that's how Google tells me you say it. So Wassell, that's what we're going for. Right, let's go beat Watford. That would be lovely. Are we going to pump? We'll pump the fists, and we'll do that one. And fingers crossed, we can watch Aston Villa slip up and jump to the top of the league. It looks like West Brom, presumably. In fact, West Brom haven't played, so they haven't. It's not that they've slipped up; it's that they've not played. But Villa are playing QPR. I think I saw there. So hopefully, we can see Villa lose a game. I mean, when we lost to Villa in the FA Cup last year, Anderson's justified his selection there of a goal line clearance. And when we played Villa in the FA Cup last year, we saw just how good they are. They're already ahead against QPR, and QPR have had Rinomhota go off injured, which, I mean, he's obviously going to be their best player because we all know how good Rinomhota is. And now we've got Patton injured. It's all going wrong. Patton with the cutback. We're going to take him off almost immediately, I think. And we'll see what kind of injury it is before making a final decision. We've obviously got Burak there on the bench who can come on for him. This is because I said I want to see them playing together forever, and now I'm never going to see them play together again. A twisted knee. I need to read what the dugout thing said. Did it say I should take him off? Because fitness-wise, he's actually not doing too badly. So we could probably leave him on, but he's so much about pace. I mean, I'm no physio, I'm no doctor, as you may know. I can't imagine a twisted knee is conducive to running really fast. Oh, we got away with it a little bit there. Right. I want to pause and look at the dugout. I should be able to nurse him through the rest of the match. I'm not going to bring Livramento on for him, that's for sure. I mean, I'm going to take him off, though. I'm just afraid of hurting him. So Patton's going to come off. We don't have Burak on the bench. Livramento, can you actually play there? I mean, I'm not going to play him there. That's insane. Wilson can come on and play them. We're just going to shuffle the whole front three around. It's not ideal, but we'll do that. And we'll shuffle the whole front three around to accommodate the injury to Patton. We talked last year about being a one-man team. That could completely derail us now, having to make that change. Jones plays it into Wilson. It's a big opportunity for Wilson. He plays it into the path of Casey Palmer, who's now moved over to this right-hand side and had two very good efforts. My word, we've had some chances there Their goalkeeper, I don't know how he's kept all of that out. It's ended up back with Wilson, who I think is offside. And yeah, Watford have been given the free kick. But that was an insane sequence that, yeah, I would question whether the ball's crossed the line at any point there. Apparently it hasn't. But there were 3 real solid efforts on goal there. Our XG should be through the roof. Pump the fists. Carry on as you are. Because a goal is coming. I can smell it. I want to see what the XG is. Lopez with the throw. Palmer flicks on, looking for Wilson, but can't find him. And Watford have got the counter-attack opportunity again here. And that's terrible defending from who's that? Suleiman. Just terrible. Luckily, Jääskeläinen is alert to it and makes a save. Jääskeläinen, by the way, has got a bit of a grumpy on at the moment because he wanted me to sign a friend from his former club. Grow up. Grow up, Will. We're only on 0.98 XG. I would have expected that to be higher based on what we saw in that goal-mouth scramble. Villa have conceded a goal against QPR. This is our opportunity to narrow the gap on Villa if we can find a winner here against Watford. Big ball forward from Anderson, and it's just going to come straight back at us. And we are not the same team without the magical front 3 playing in their magical roles. That's incredible defending from Anderson, because I don't know what Jääskeläinen's doing there, but Anderson is playing like a man who's just lost his space in the team and wants it back. That was a fantastic piece of defending. And now we need to make a change to the attack to try and get a breakthrough. Jack Taylor, I think I'm going to take off and bring on Kasani, because Kasani looked really dangerous in the last game when we brought him on. I think we'll also take off Wassel and bring Zakowski on and just change up the midfield. We are going to go attacking as well. We're the home team. Let's go try and grab a goal and try and win the football match. We're going to drop some encouragement. We're not going to demand more. A draw against Watford is fine. Watford were a playoff team last year, but we are the home side and we are pushing for promotion ourselves all of a sudden. So let's go try and grab a winner. It doesn't look like there is one forthcoming. QPR still drawing 1-1 against Villa. Middlesbrough and West Brom level on points with us behind us. And no more highlights given. I think we were unlucky today. On another day, on another day, Patton doesn't pick up that knock and we go and win that game. I think that's what's made the difference there. And hopefully it's not a bad injury. He's out for a week. Jack Taylor's out for 3 months though, which is that's the other Jack Taylor. This is the issue with having 2 players with the same name. Sorry, Jack. I know I seemed like I really cared initially and then I laughed. I am worried about your thigh, honestly. I'm just glad you're the wrong Jack Taylor. Hold on, we need I need to make sure this doesn't happen again. So Jack Taylor, not that one. Just so that we know who we're dealing with. And Patton's only going to miss the game against Brentford. He could potentially be back for Oxford. Have Oxford still got Spasov? Or have they released him now? He's still there, look, bless him. 22 years old now. Never quite the same man after I made him a hero at Kettering, who are 17th in League One. How has Graham Wesley not been sacked yet? Kevin Wilcox, name in the game. Still hot prospect there, but Kettering are on a collision course back with the non-league if they're not careful. Yikes. Right, we'll be back tomorrow as ever. We'll go half a dozen games forward and see how we're getting on. Hopefully, we'll still be in a promotion push. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.